Hello everyone. Today is our lecture number 4 for the subject data structure using C. I am your teacher Bandari ma'am. So we will go through this lecture number 4 today. We have to cover the topic performance analysis and algorithmic complexity here. So I already told you what is algorithm and algorithmic complexity. Yesterday's lecture was on the basis of how to write the algorithm, what is algorithm, and now we have to analyze the algorithm today. Okay, so for on the basis of that we have to study performance analysis and algorithmic complexity. What is performance analysis? Okay, performance analysis is the process of making evaluating judgment about the algorithms. Performance of an algorithm means predicting the resources which are required to an algorithm to perform its task. Okay, this is just the example. If you have different algorithm for the same problem, then you have to find out which performance is best, whose performance is best. So for that we have to analyze the algorithm on the basis of their performance. So how to calculate the performance or how to predict the performance? So performance of an algorithm means predicting the resources which are required to an algorithm to perform its task. What are the resources which are required to perform or to complete or to execute that algorithm are mandatory to be considered here in the performance analysis. We have to find out the performance of each and every algorithm here. Okay, how that algorithm is better than the other one, that we have to find out. So we have to check its performance in the performance analysis. An algorithm is said to be efficient and fast if it takes less time to execute and consumes less memory space. So the performance of an algorithm is measured on the basis of the following properties. First one is the space complexity and second is the time complexity. So again, what is performance analysis? We have to find out which algorithm is better than the other one. Okay, how to calculate it, how to analyze it? So just we have to find out that how fast the algorithm can execute and also how much memory space is needed by that algorithm. So these are the two main criteria on the basis of which we have to find out the performance of any algorithm. Okay, when you write an algorithm, you have to consider the memory space which is required by that algorithm, and the second, how the efficiency we have to calculate by using the time. So how much time is required by that algorithm to execute the number of statements. Okay, you have to first write down the algorithm, and on the basis of that algorithm only you have to implement your program. You have to code your program. Okay, so that code contains all the basic things which are mentioned in your algorithm. So how much time will require to execute that particular program by using that algorithm, and how much memory space which is required to execute that program by using that algorithm. This is very important. So on the basis of that, there are two main criteria by which we have to calculate or analyze the performance of the algorithm. So first one is the space complexity and second is the time complexity. दो मेन क्राइटेरिया है इसमें. फर्स्ट है टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड देन सेकंड इज द स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी. These are the two main things on the basis of which we have to find out the performance of any algorithm. Okay, first one we will look in the space complexity. It is the amount of memory space required by the algorithm during the course of its execution. Okay, it is the amount of memory space required by the algorithm during the course of its execution. Whenever you are running or executing the program, how much memory space is required by that algorithm? That is nothing but the space complexity. Okay, space complexity must be taken into consideration for multi-user system or in the situation where limited memory is available. Normally these are the two main criteria. I have already told you, that space complexity and second is the time complexity. In both of them, okay, the time complexity is majorly considered as a complexity of the algorithm. The space complexity having the second priority. Why? It is only considered when the multi-user system we are using or in the situation where limited memory is available. Okay, when limited memory is available, you also have to consider that which algorithm takes very less memory. The space complexity must be taken into consideration for multi-user system or in the situation where limited memory is available. So sometimes it happens that majorly we are taking the time complexity into consideration for any algorithm analysis, but space complexity is also taken into consideration when the system is multi-user system. So every user require different memory requirements, and if the memory is less, then you cannot execute that algorithm, or if the memory space is less, you cannot complete that algorithm also. So the space complexity is the second priority we have to consider for the algorithmic analysis. Okay, the second thing now how to calculate the space complexity. Okay, we will first finish the space complexity and then we will start with the time complexity. So first one is the constant space complexity. So actually what is complexity? That means how complex your algorithm is, how complicated your algorithm is, how much memory it takes, how much time it will take. Okay, so first of all we have to calculate that space complexity and time complexity. First is the space complexity. In that, first one is the constant space complexity. Okay, so here the simple code is written that integer square is a function. In that we are passing a one variable integer a and we are returning a into a. So when we see this program or when we see this code, it requires only a single variable integer a. Okay, in that total program. Okay, if you say this is the only function in that program, then you require only the integer a single variable to complete or to execute the program. So you know how much space is required for the integer variable, and because of that this complexity of this particular code is constant. So you know how much memory is required by a variable, integer variable, and that much memory is the same to execute that particular algorithm. So if an algorithm required fixed amount of space for all input values, then that space complexity is said to be constant space complexity. है ना, पूरा अगर हमने प्रोग्राम लिखा फिर भी in that program only we are using only a single variable, that means that amount of memory is fixed. ठीक है, that amount of memory is fixed and because of that it is a constant space complexity. How much memory is required for that algorithm to execute? That is constant. It requires a single variable. Okay, if it requires two variable, also in that case the space complexity is the constant one. Okay, दो भी वेरिएबल यूज़ करें, हमें पता है कि हाउ मच वेरिएबल्स वी आर यूजिंग, हाउ मच मेमोरी इट टेक्स. Okay, if I am taking three variables, that is also okay. It is also a constant space complexity which is required by the algorithm, because the amount of variables, the amount of memory which is required to execute that algorithm is fixed. So that's why it is called as constant space complexity. Okay, after that we will learn the next one is the linear space. So now what is the difference between the constant and the linear one? Look at this, the code is given. In that code one function is given, in that integer a, and we have to pass the integer n. Again inside the function we are taking one again new variable sum, that is equal to 0. I is also a new variable. After that, for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, we are adding the sum with the array elements and we are returning the sum. So here in this program Some of the variables are same, that is sum equal to 0 is there, integer a, that is the array is there. Okay, value of I is also, that means the memory space which is required by the I is also constant. But here the value of n depends on the number of elements into the array. Okay, for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, so n is taken from the user, so it is unknown to the implementer. हम coding कर रहे, so that means we are implementer, we are implementing the program, but we don't know how much elements the user can insert. Okay, I have told you to write down the program to insert the elements by using the user define. User define elements आपको मैंने बोला था कि enter करो उसमें. So user कोई भी डालेगा, मैंने कहा कि मुझे I have to add 10 elements, so n will be 10. When you say I want to add 100 elements, so n will be 100. So it depends on the user how much elements you are going to insert in this particular code. So here, if the amount of space required by an algorithm is increased with the increase in input values, then that space complexity is said to be linear space complexity. Okay, the number of elements for the array or for the summation of the element is not known to the user. Okay, हमें कितने elements add करना है वो जो है वो amount it is depend on the users. Okay, so user पे depend करता है कि हम वो कितना amount डालेगा. If he say 5 elements, so it is 5 into the integer memory space, the space requirement. We have to find out the space requirement. So 5 into the space which is required by the integer value. If I say I want to add 10 elements, so 10 into memory space required by the integer value. So like that, as per the number of inputs required, it increases the space which is required by the algorithm. So that is the linear space complexity. Very simple formula. For one integer, if you say it takes 4 memory space, 4 units of memory space, then for the 2 elements, it requires 8 units of memory space. For the 3 elements, it requires 12 units of memory space. Like that, it will grow as per the input. So it is a linearly increasing. If it is 1, then it is 4. Okay, if the elements are 2, then the memory space required is 8. If elements are 3, then memory space required is 12. If elements are 4, memory space requirement is 16. So like that, it is linearly increasing as the increase of the input values. So that is called as linear space complexity. Okay. Now time complexity. Okay. First of all, just properly understand that what is space complexity and time complexity. Again, I am revising that we have to analyze the algorithm on the basis of 2 things. First one is the space and second is the time. Okay. In space, we have to consider how much memory space is required by any algorithm to execute. So how many elements we are using, what type of elements we are using, it depends on all these things, and then we have to find out its space complexity. So all the other things, if the elements or the input is constant, then it is a constant space complexity. If the input is increasing, that means it is a linear space complexity. Okay. Now we have to consider the time complexity. Time complexity of an algorithm is the total amount of time required by an algorithm to complete its execution. So when we analyze algorithms through time complexity, we should employ mathematical techniques that analyze algorithm dependently of specific implementations, computers or data. Now here again we have to find out the time complexity of each and every algorithm. So when we are considering the algorithm, now when it is in the case of space, we are finding out how many variables we are using. Okay. and which type of variables are there, and then we have to calculate the memory space which is required by the algorithm. In time complexity, again we have to analyze the algorithm. Now here we have to find out or count the time which is required by each and every statement to execute. So there are some simple statements, there are some complex statements, and as per the complexity of any statement, the time complexity changes. Okay, we will look at the example first. Time complexity. To analyze the algorithm, first we start to count the number of significant operations in a particular solution to assess its efficiency. So whenever you are considering the time complexity, whenever you are analyzing the algorithm by using the time complexity, we have to start to count the number of significant operations. Number of operations we have to find out in that particular code. Okay, we have to find out the number of operations in that particular code to find out the efficiency of the algorithm. Okay, then we will express the efficiency of algorithm using growth function. Okay, first we start to count the number of significant operations in a particular solution to assess its efficiency. So whenever you are considering the time complexity, we have to assess the efficiency of that algorithm by using the number of significant operations. कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑपरेशंस कितने हैं उसमें, है ना, वो जो हम कोड रन कर रहे हैं, हाउ मेनी कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑपरेशंस आर देयर, and on the basis of that operation, those operations, we have to find out the time complexity. Okay, and then we will express the efficiency of algorithm using growth function. So what is growth function, we have to learn into the next part, but then we will express the efficiency of algorithm using the growth function. Okay, what exactly we have to do here now? Time complexity. Okay, we have to find out the time complexity. So there are number of statements in any algorithm, any program. Okay, whenever you are writing the algorithm, that algorithm you have to implement through the coding. Okay, so when we are executing the program, there are number of statements. So for every statement, a particular time is required. Okay, as per the capacity of the processor, the particular time is required to execute any simple statement. Okay, when you are considering a simple program, for every statement you require a 1 unit of time to execute that program or to execute that statement. Now whenever we are running the program, whenever we are executing the program, there are number of statements are there. For every simple statement, 1 unit of time is required. But if the statement is complex, okay, so here we require the growth function. We have to find out how much time it requires because the function is complicated. वो जो function हम लिख रहे हैं simple अगर statements है, then it is considered as okay, this is the 1 unit of time is required to execute the simple statement. But if that statement is complex, if it is a looping statement, if else statement, okay, like that, if the statements are complex, then we have to find out its growth rate or growth function, and by using that growth function we have to find out the time complexity of the algorithm. Okay, so look at this, the execution time of algorithm. Here a simple statement is given, count equal to count plus 1. Okay, look at this statement, count equal to count plus 1. So each operation in an algorithm has a cost and each operation takes a certain amount of time. So you can consider that particular statement in a particular processor, a simple statement require 1 unit of time to execute. Okay, so count equal to count plus 1, it takes a certain amount of time. You can consider it as a 1 single unit of time. Now there are sequence of operations. So first statement is count equal to count plus 1. Second statement is sum equal to sum plus count. So these two are simple statement, nothing complex in that. So for each of these statements, a cost is 1 unit of time. Okay, so if you consider the cost of first statement is C1, and the cost of cost of second statement is C2, then the total cost is C1 plus C2. There are two statements. Okay, if we are considering the first statement, the cost of the first statement is C1, and second, the cost of the second statement is C2, then the total cost of these two statements is C1 plus C2. This is a simple statement. We are considering 1 unit of time which is required to execute the simple statement. So if a single statement is there, it requires some specified time slot or time amount of time to execute. There are two statements, so it is the addition of first and second statement. Okay, the time required for the first and second statement to execute. Now the second example is of simple if statement. So here look at this. If n is less than 0, then ab's value is equal to minus n, else ab's value equal to n. So when we are considering the if else statement, in that case, for every statement in the if else statement requires some amount of time. Okay, so the cost is given. For the first statement is C1, for the ab's value equal to minus n equal to C2, you can say, and ab's value equal to n, the cost is C3. So cost in the sense the time requirement. Okay, so total cost, now how much cost it will take for the entire execution of this particular code. So total cost is less than C1, so the first statement will execute compulsory. So if n is less than 0, this statement will execute. So when we are considering the simple if statement, the first statement, that if n is less than 0, will execute compulsory. That means this statement will execute for every other option. Okay, if n is less than 0, it will execute compulsory. After that, there are two statements. If it is true, then ab's value equal to minus n. If it is false, then ab's value equal to n. So in these two statements, only one will execute at a time. Okay, so here how to calculate the total time required by this particular code is C1. That means the first statement will execute compulsory plus the maximum between the ab's value equal to minus n or ab's value equal to n. So in both of these statements, only one will execute, and we have to consider only the value or the time which is required by the executed statement. So it may be between C2 or C3. So this is the time complexity for this particular code. So that is C1 plus maximum between C2 or C3. If one will execute, other will be 0. If the first will be execute, the other will be 0. If C2 is executed, then the value of C3 is 0, or vice versa. Third example is of simple loop statement. Okay, look at into this. Again, normally the thing is that when there are simple statements, the time complexity is, you can say, constant. It is a 1 unit of time required. Okay, on all the statements, that means equal to statements are there. So in that case, all the statements requires the time complexity, you can say, 1 unit of time. But if the statements are complex, so we have seen some statements. Look at this. Here in the first example, both the statements are simple. So we are just counting it by addition of the number of or the time required. In the second one, it is the if else statement. So we are considering the first statement C1, that is constant, and in between the two, C2 and C3. Okay. In the next one, here it is a looping statement. So here in that first statement, I is equal to 1, it is a simple one. So it requires time 1 unit of time. Sum equal to 0, again it requires 1 unit of time. Next statement is while I is less than equal to n. So how much time this statement will execute? Consider it properly. Okay, while I is less than equal to n. This is the simple statement. Okay, but this statement will execute n plus 1 number of times. Okay, if you have already understood properly what is looping statement, how they are executed, how much time the loop will execute, how to increase that value. So that means the particular number of statements in the looping statement will execute n number of times, but the statement to check the condition, that is while I is less than equal to n, this statement will execute n plus 1 number of time. Okay, just study the looping statement before this. Okay, you must have to know each and everything in the programming, how these looping statements work, how if else work. Okay, I will give some examples on this time complexity tomorrow, but for today just we have to look out what is time complexity. We will revise all these things because the topic is very complex. Okay, so while I is less than equal to n, this statement will execute n plus 1 number of times. Then the two statement I is equal to I plus 1 and sum equal to sum plus I, these two statements are inside the looping statement. Okay, curly brackets are there, so these two statements are inside the looping statement. So both these statements require, or the time required to execute these statements is n, because this is the simple statement, but it will execute n number of times because they are in the loop. Okay, so the total time complexity is, you can look into the last one, that is C1 plus C2 plus C3 into n plus 1 plus C4 into n plus C5 into n. So this is the cost. Cost means a particular time to complete that single statement and the time, number of times the statement will execute. Okay, so total cost is considered as this. So the time required for this algorithm is proportion to the n. Okay, always you can see that this is every time n is multiplied to number of cost and n is multiplied to the cost of the statement. So the time required for this algorithm is proportion to n. Now nested loop statement. Okay, this is again some complex one. So here there are two loops are there. Whenever you are using the two loops, you must have to consider that the statements inside the inner loop executes n multiplied by n number of times. 2 times your loops will consider it. So nested looping statement. So inside the two, or the inside the inner loop, the statements will execute n into n number of times. Look at the code again. So first statement I is equal to 1, the cost is C1, it only execute one number of time. Sum equal to 0, again the cost is C2, it also execute one number of time. While I is less than equal to n, now here the loop, first loop will start. So this statement will execute n plus 1 number of time. Okay, total n, and lastly again it will check for the condition. So n plus 1 number of times this statement will execute. After that the outer loop opening, j is equal to 1. So here j is equal to 1, this statement will execute n number of times. Okay, first outer loop is there, it execute n plus 1 number of time. In the outer loop there is a statement j equal to 1, it will execute n number of times. In that again the second loop is there, while j is less than equal to n. So this statement will execute n plus 1 multiplied by n number of time. Okay, look at this, this is the first loop, that all the statements in the first loop or the outer loop will execute n number of times, but the second or the inner loop, you can see, while j is less than equal to n, this will also execute n plus 1 number of times. So n plus 1 multiplied by n. So from where we got this n? Because this while j is less than equal to n is the inner loop, so it is inside the outer loop. So outer loop, all the statements in the outer loop will execute n number of time. So n multiplied by n plus 1 number of times the second loop statement will execute. and again all the statements inside the inner loop will execute n multiplied by n number of times. Okay, let's consider it properly. Everything will, you have to analyze properly. Every statement you have to look out into the deep. Okay, details अगर आपने देखे तो आपको समझ में आ गया कि why we are using this, why we are multiplying it. If you know all the concepts of looping statement and all, then you properly understand that how many number of times the statement will execute and how we are going to calculate the time complexity of each statement. Okay, so total cost is again the cost multiplied by time. So C1 plus C2 plus C3 into n plus 1 plus C4 into n, then plus n multiplied by n plus 1 multiplied by C5 plus n multiplied by n multiplied by C6 plus n multiplied by n multiplied by C7 plus n multiplied by C8. So normally when we are calculating the time complexity for the nested looping statement, the time required is proportion to n square. And every time look at this, here you can see that there are n into n number of statements which are having n multiplied by n number of times they are running. So time complexity for the algorithm having nested loop is proportion to n square. In the last one only there is one loop, so the time complexity of the algorithm is proportion to n. Here the time complexity is proportion to n square. Like that we have to find out the time complexity for every complicated statement, and then we have to consider the growth rate. Okay, so these are the general rules for estimation. In the loops, the running time of a loop is at most the running time of the statements inside of that loop times the number of iterations. Okay, number of loops है ना, loops अगर हमने consider किया, so the running time of a loop is most the running time of the statements inside that loop times the number of iteration. If there are 5 elements or 5 statements inside a loop and the loop will execute n number of time, so the total amount, or you can say the time complexity of that particular thing, is 5 multiplied by n. If it is nested loop, then it is 5 into n. Okay, so running time of a nested loop containing a statement inside the innermost loop is the running time of the statement multiplied by the product of size of all loops. Okay, nested loops में अगर दो loops है, then it is n multiplied by n. If there are 3 loops, it is n multiplied by n multiplied by n. Okay, consecutive statement, that means just a simple statement is there that will execute only one number of time, and just add the running time of those consecutive statements. If it is if-else statement, so never more than the running time of the test plus larger of running times of S1 and S2. Okay, just look out the example first and then again read these general rules properly so you can understand how to estimate the time complexity. Okay, the last part. Now algorithmic growth rate. We measure algorithms time requirement as a function of problem size. Okay, problem size depend on the application. For example, number of elements in the list to handle. So majorly what we are considering, we are measuring the time requirement as a function of problem size. Time complexity कैसे निकालते हैं हम? So we are considering how much elements we are using, how much elements we are processing. Okay, so on the basis of that problem size, that how many elements we have to handle, on the basis of that the time complexity changes. So assume that the problem size is n. As I already told you, this is also given properly, that you can say that algorithm 1 require 5 multiplied by n square time units to solve the problem of size n, or algorithm 2 requires 7 multiplied by n times units of to solve the problem of size n. So depend on the number of loops inside that particular algorithm, you can consider the time complexity. Okay, the most important thing is to learn is how quickly the algorithm time requirement grows as a function of the problem size. इन द स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी मैंने कहा आपको लीनियर स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, दैट मीन्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द इनपुट वैल्यूज द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी और द स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी of that algorithm changes. Same here in the time complexity also we have to find out the growth rate. So as per the number of inputs, how much time complexity gets changes. It depends on the problem size. Like algorithm 1 requires time proportional to n square, or algorithm 2 requires time proportional to n. As per that we have to find out the growth rate. An algorithm proportional time requirement is known as growth rate. We can compare the efficiency of two algorithms by comparing their growth rate. Okay. So this is just the, you can say, the overlook about the time complexity and space complexity. I will go through different examples tomorrow. Okay, in that we have to learn different algorithms, and on the basis of that we have to find out the space and time complexity. Okay, just remember that what we have to exactly do, we have to analyze the algorithm. Okay, how to analyze the algorithm? There are two techniques. First one is the space complexity, second is the time complexity. Space complexity is the amount of space which is required by the algorithm to execute. Time complexity is the amount of time required to execute that algorithm properly. In the space complexity, it depends on the number of inputs we provide. Okay, if the number of inputs are fixed, the space complexity is also constant. If the number of inputs are increasing or they are not, you can say we are increasing it manually, then as per that the space complexity of the algorithm also gets increased. Okay, secondly, when we are considering the time complexity, now time complexity is a major thing to consider to analyze the algorithm. In time complexity, it depends on how many statements are complex in that algorithm. So what do you mean by complex statements? The statements which takes more time. Okay, so some crucial operations are there in your program and that will take more time to execute. So what type of examples or what type of statements are there? So this looping statement, nested nested looping statement, or if else statements are there. Okay, we are sorting out some elements, so again that one is a different thing. So on the basis of these operations, the time complexity changes. So for that particular thing, that means if the statement is if else statement, then the growth rate is different. If the statement is looping statement, then growth rate is different. If the statement is nested loop statement, then again the growth rate is different. So on the basis how proportionally the time complexity changes as per the number of inputs we provide is known as that growth function or growth rate. Now using that growth rate, we have to show the time complexity. Okay, so these two things, again I will tell you that these are very complex things. This is a very vast subject. आपको इंजीनियरिंग में भी ये सब्जेक्ट जो है उसका डिटेल में नॉलेज है, लेकिन अभी आपको क्या करना कि जस्ट यू हैव टू ओवरलुक ऑल दिस थिंग्स ना, जस्ट आपको उसको ओवरलुक करना है. अभी आपको इतना डीप नहीं है स्टडी, आपको उसको जस्ट लेना कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वी आर डूइंग एंड हाउ टू एनालाइज द एल्गोरिदम. आपको जो एल्गोरिदम आप लिख रहे हो उसमें जस्ट कंसिडर करना कि वाई दिस वन इज़ बेटर दैन द अदर वन. ओके, सो डोंट जस्ट, आपको ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. मैं आपके इस पे ये टॉपिक पे एग्जांपल्स भी लूँगी टोटली, तो उसमें और क्लियर हो जाएगा. कल हम एग्जांपल्स लेंगे तो और क्लियर हो जाएगा आपको कि कैसे फाइंड आउट करते हैं टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड कैसे फाइंड आउट करते हैं स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड हाउ दैट ग्रोथ फंक्शन वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट. ओके, सो थैंक यू, study well again and again. Just properly listen this particular video. Okay, I will show you all these slides and all these things. आप गूगल भी कर सकते हो थोड़ा सा अगर आपको चाहिए और तो, बट आई थिंक हम अगर एग्जांपल्स लेंगे कल तो प्रॉपरली आपको समझ में आ जाएगा व्हाट इज़ टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड व्हाट इज़ स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी। ओके, थैंक यू।